So I was just fired from my job. So, yeah, follow me. I don't know. Like this video, give me a follow, and stay tuned for more content because it is coming. It is coming.
Hi, my name is Nancy D, and I was fired on Friday for saying that I was having a hard time finding empathy for Charlie Kirk. Apparently, I was doxed by a convicted and pardoned January 6th on Twitter, and so my name and my company's name was put out there, and then my company was flooded with calls for my termination, and this is day one of unemployment. But I have now started getting calls to my personal cell phone, and I'm worried that, like, not just my name and my employer's information is out there. I'm worried that, like, my phone number and my home address are. I can't find where to go look for that. Can someone help me, please? I don't know what I'm doing here.
It's time to spill the beans. We just mutated on a Knocky James. Tiger blood, Charlie Sheen. Leadership level like a college dean. Addicted to the truth like crack is to a fiend. The elites killed the American dream. Along with Epstein, let's rage against the machine. Momentum picking up and I'm hardly burning steam. Positivity never makes it mainstream. The country is torn like some Levi James. Cutting the lawn, but I'm barely making greens. Give it to you straight like a laser beam. This fucking reality is not what it seems.
All the neo-Nazis are gonna love this one. I just got out of an impromptu meeting with the vice president of Western Governors University, scheduled on my calendar 10 minutes after I arrived back from my midday break. No one else was scheduled on the meeting, besides Casey Clark, the vice president of Western Governors University. But then the HR representative showed up first, and we both sat there, and knowing that she's worked at the university for about a month. And then he showed up, and I said, it would have been great if we met each other under different circumstances, Casey. And he said, yeah, I'm gonna fire you, basically. And he said that even though Ohio is a one-party consent state, and I only showed the part of the conversation where I spoke during the prior meeting, that breached the policy for the university, which, if you ask me, sounds like illegal retaliation for calling out the president, Scott D. Pulsifer, for neo-Nazi sympathizing with Charlie Kirk. But I would love a pro bono lawyer to verify whether or not that's correct. And then he said, I celebrated Charlie Kirk's death. If me calling out who Charlie Kirk was, which was someone with neo-Nazi beliefs and statements, is celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, then so be it. Because that's who he was. He was a neo-Nazi. And any organization that would fire me for calling a neo-Nazi is not an organization I want to work at. Now all WGU students, faculty, and staff will know that the president and vice president are both neo-Nazi sympathizers. All the neo-Nazis are going to love this one.
Just had to get on here real quick and say that I officially lost my job due to using my First Amendment rights and using quotes on TikTok. For about 4 years now, I was happily employed at Vance Refrigeration, and now I've lost my job due to the things that I said online. I do hopefully have an interview scheduled for the Michael Scott Paper Company, so fingers crossed that they'll hire me there.
So the Charlie supporters have gotten me fired from my job. My job was keeping her mom satisfied. Tell her I miss her.
Well, I guess I'm jobless. So basically, I lost my job because a bunch of people were filing complaints against me because I said something simple and true, that basically Charlie Kirk did more for assholes than our Ass Blaster 9000. I mean, tell me, where is the lie in this? Where is the lie?
So I got fired from my job today because one of you guys decided to send my videos, my Charlie Kirk videos, to my boss. Yeah, I don't know who did it. They won't tell me. They were sent anonymously to my boss. My boss pulled me in the office today, and he pulls up his phone and he said, "This you?" And I looked at it and I was like, "Nah, boss, that ain't me." And then of course I pop up on screen, so I can't deny it, that it was me. Who did it, MAGA? Which one of you guys got me fired, bro? Send my video to my boss. Who does that? Yo, and on top of that, you got my account almost banned, bro. I didn't even say nothing bad about Charlie. Alright? We had our differences, but I didn't know the guy. I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? I make conspiracy videos, yo. You guys got me fired. Fired from my job. Now what? Now what? How am I supposed to buy my Pokemon cards? How am I supposed to buy my double cheeseburgers with no pickle, extra fry, barbecue sauce, my chicken nugget? How am I supposed to buy that now? I bought that every night I got off of work. Love McDonald's, bro. More than I love Charlie Kirk. And now you guys got me fired. Boy. MAGA, one of you guys owe me a job now. Not cool.
So I received information that I've been doxed on X, so I'm going to have to step away for a little bit. And the AFP have been contacted, and also the E-Safety Commission as well have been contacted, because there's been a large number of threats coming through. And the irony of this situation, that all I did was say some words that offended some people, and now people have decided to take that into the real world and start, you know, threatening and harassing and abusing people out in the real world based on their inability to manage their emotions. I even had some people say to me that apparently they made a report to the AFP, the Federal Police, about me. I'm like, what did I do other than say something that hurt your feelings? Like, that's free speech. You the ability to speak, even if that's something that personally offends you or you find distasteful. We don't all have to agree on things. In fact, we shouldn't all agree on things. So yeah, I'll be around later, I guess. And yeah, just think before you try to take things offline or you try to escalate things. Think about whether this actually impacts you personally, whether your life is personally impacted by the hurtful thing that person said.
I just had to block all of my friends because they just have such different political beliefs from me, and I thought that we were the type of friends who would live together someday after college and like stay in touch no matter what. And I thought these were the people that I would spend my life with and grow old next to. These were the people who saved my life on multiple different occasions, and I just don't know if I can continue being friends with them because of this. I just don't know I dropped out of school for these people. I started homeschooling because of these people. And I don't know what I'm going to do because we go to such a small school together. And I don't know how I'm going to be able to face them. These people are my whole life. I don't know how I'm going to be able to avoid them. Yeah. I don't care if you think that this is my own fault for being the person to blow up these relationships, because everything that they say makes me feel like such a shit person. And I can't have that in my life. Not anymore. Okay, I used to not respect myself to cut people out of my life for things like this, but now I do. Now I respect myself enough to not want to feel like this. God, I'm probably gonna delete this because it's so fucking embarrassing crying on camera. But, God.
I just got fired without warning. I found out because I couldn't log on to Slack or Outlook. So that was really fun. I don't know who needs to hear this, but your boss is not your friend ever, and you're not safe at your job. So you should cultivate backup options at all times, because capitalism sucks and you're not safe, unfortunately. And I'm gonna be fine, but a lot of people in my position wouldn't be fine. So I just want this to be a warning to whoever's out there and is getting cozy at their job. Don't.
Christian minister here. Charlie Kirk is not a martyr for Christ, despite the claims on social media this week from the right. While we condemn his murder and the gun violence that led to it, we must also reject MAGA's efforts to portray him as something he was not. Kirk preached hatred and division as a white Christian nationalist, which contradicts Jesus' teachings. He preached anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, racism, misogyny, and homophobia. Jesus said that the greatest commandment was to love. Kirk preached that empathy was weakness and that gun deaths are the cost of freedom. His death is tragic, and I'm thankful that the shooter has been apprehended. But the media should stop portraying him as a man of peace just following Jesus, when he was anything but. And yes, it dishonors the United States to award a white Christian nationalist the Presidential Medal of Freedom, as Donald Trump has promised. White Christian nationalism is a false gospel rooted in white supremacy. This week's violence was horrific and has been rightfully condemned. But that violence should not be used today to normalize, even celebrate, the hatred that white Christian nationalism embodies. All of us need to commit ourselves to nonviolence. Anything else is incompatible with democracy. May God bless our country, may God bless all of you, and may God bless the world. Peace be with you.
A super popular NFL team hired me to sing the national anthem at their Latino Heritage Month. They said there will be a car service to pick me and my husband up to take us to the park, and then after our day at the park was done, they were going to take us home. I'm not a huge football person, but my husband is, so I was really excited that we were going to do this together. The day they made plans with me for the car service and arranged all of that was the same day that Schmarly Schmirk died. The following day, I posted a status about how I had no empathy for Charlie Kirk. I posted my own political opinions. The following day, I received a phone call from a representative from a very popular NFL team, and they told me that due to internal reasons, they were going to be finding a new singer for the game. Now, I don't want to assume, but how could I believe something like that? Because whenever Colin Kaepernick took a knee during the national anthem, they told him politics don't belong in football.
So I've lost my job. I got called into the office yesterday. I kind of felt like something was off, but they called me in the office yesterday, and after I finished like half through the work, and told me that they could either fire me or I could put a resignation in, but that would look better. But they fired me, or they're getting rid of me because of my TikTok and the book post. somebody screenshot a lot of my TikToks and wrote a nasty letter, and in my Facebook screenshot those and mailed them to the office to my boss. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I got up early this morning and started throwing stuff outside to sell it. People's come, $1 here, $1 there. I just don't know. I don't know what to do. I just know that this 2 years has been bad. It's been bad. I mean, just one thing after another. Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know. That's what I keep saying. I just don't know. It's not fair. I think it's unfair. That somebody would be that malicious to do that to me. I would never hurt anybody. Not like that. Not intentionally like that. But somebody did that, and I think it's somebody that works in the office. I mean, why? Why? I'm nice. I am a genuinely nice person. I'm nice to everybody. All I know is this 2 years has been super bad. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I have no idea.
So a lot of people are getting death threats today, including me. And they posted pictures of my house because they know where I live. So that's cool. Just want to make it real clear that I've never had any thoughts to unalive myself.
My TikTok done bit me in the ass because I just got let go from my job for my TikTok. I guess my boss saw the TikTok, so I'm on my way home right now.
Well, I just want to say thanks a lot, MAGA. You guys did get me fired from my job. I was an engineer for 12 years. So for the first time in 12 years, I have to get back into the job field. So much for freedom of speech, huh, guys? Crazy, unbelievable.
This week my job was contacted about my statements about Charlie Kirk. And I want to start by saying that if you are gay, trans, black, brown, legal, illegal, doesn't matter to me, you are safe here. And I will not stop talking about your rights. I will not stop standing by you just because other people think intimidation will work. We love to use the civil rights movement and MLK as an example of what standing up for your rights means, but we ignore the pain and the violence and the poverty that those leaders faced when standing up for their beliefs. And we ignore the tons of people who are unaccounted for in the history books who also stood up, but just didn't make the cut. If I gotta lose my job for not standing for and with white supremacy, then I have to lose my job. I will never stand for white supremacy. I will never stand for fascism, and it's not something I am willing to compromise on, no matter what.
The amount of calls that we have received, I think it's not that many, but it's about 6 now, calls that were received from individuals who are specifically saying, I want to make sure I get this right, I have been terminated, I have been put on suspension by my job for things that I have said on my private social media account. First of all, I want you to think about those things. Private social media, they do not go hand in hand together. But a lot of comments that we're getting specifically about the unfortunate death of Charlie Kirk. Why do I say unfortunate? Because I don't care who you are as a human being, you should not root for another human being's life to be taken, whether you agree with their political views. I'm old enough to remember the whole phrase, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. I think we have forgotten that as a society. And if we get to the point where we're simply, to the point that if somebody says something that we think they deserve to die, There's a bit of me that actually believes that Mr. Kirk, whether I agree or disagree with his views, the fact that he was willing to engage in a logical debate, and by the way, that is what we do as attorneys, that if we have different views with our opposing sides, it's basically an intellectual debate. You should not lose your life for engaging into intellectual debate with anybody. And there's a bit of me that believes that I don't know if he actually believes half of the shit that he was actually saying, because, you know, some of it is just rage baiting to get encouragement. By that same definition, are we going to start saying that we have a problem with Leonardo DiCaprio for playing a racist in a movie even though he was acting? Anyway, what is ending up happening are people are forgetting about the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. They are saying, hey, Mr. Kent, I have freedom of speech. I should be allowed to say anything I want at work on my private social media account. Again, no such thing. Stop saying this is private. One, it is not private because you're posting it. Social, by definition, is social in media. Come on. But what I encourage people when I tell them is your employer, especially in South Carolina is a right to work state. What does that mean? That means your employer can say, you know what, get the fuck out of here. We're not going to listen to this discourse. You cannot post this stuff on the page. Some individuals have come to us and basically, let's say they're a teacher. They're a teacher and they are saying that, you know what, my school district has suspended me because I said, Charlie Kirk, he deserves to die. Are you teaching our kids? Or you work for an elected official and you want to put political things on your post and your elected official says, nah, bruh, you don't work here. South Carolina is a right to work state. Number two, when we talk about freedom of speech, you have the right to say whatever the hell you want, but people tend to forget you can say what you want. Our government is not going to arrest you for saying what you want. We're not going to kill you for saying what you want. However, your employer has the right to terminate you. They are two different things. People get confused on freedom of speech and freedom of consequences. There are consequences to our actions. So when we get those calls and people ask us, can I file a lawsuit because my employer terminated me because of the stuff that I put on my private social media account? At least in South Carolina, my response is they can terminate you for anything they want to. As a matter of fact, a lot of times when employers contact me and say, how should I terminate an employee? I said, don't give them a damn reason. You work at the, sometimes as the sheriff say, you work at the will and the discretion of the sheriff. Don't give them a damn reason. There's a famous quote from a pretty, I don't know how to say it, a pretty prolific philosopher, old Dave Chappelle. You know, everybody wants to give an opinion, and he had something that was pretty great to say. He says, you could shut the fuck up.
It's time to spill the beans. We just mutated on Anaki James. Tiger blood, Charlie